Hello, this is my story, and it begins right here. The door of the cockpit, of course. The backstory about that is when we were on a flight from Dubai to Amsterdam, I first saw this door, and I was like, what is behind that? Most of the time it's locked because you can't really just go in there. And I didn't know it was where pilots are, or if pilot was even a thing. I went home and started researching about it and found out that it's actually a career and pilot is actually a thing. There are people who fly these huge machines and I was like, wow, how how's that even possible? I was only 7 years old at the time, so it was really amazing to me. And I also found out these kind of selfies and I was like, I just want to be a pilot, just skip my high school years. I just want to be the pilot right now. But that was not possible, obviously. Years passed by really quick and it was 2021. But my craze about being a pilot still stayed the same. And at a lunch with my friends, one of my friends asked, I think this was in 2021, yeah. One of my friends asked, what are your guys' plan about post-secondary and what are you guys gonna do? And the other friend said, oh, I'm going to nursing school. And I was like, I'm becoming a pilot. And I said that so loud that people behind me were like, are these people okay? But yeah, I was so into it. I just wanted that. Until we had to do this assignment in career development where we had to research about our dream career path and gather some information about it so we know what we're doing. And then I came across some very information that I really should have seen before. It's not as easy as it seems to be. You only get to 50 hours in average when you graduate from university, and that's only on a single engine plane. But for an airline pilot, you need 1,500 flying hours at least to be like for your application to be considered. And then you work for like 3 or 4 hours from after graduating from university. You work for 3 or 4 years actually, and just work for those hours, and then you get to fly some actual airplane. And besides that, it's not really worth it because I've seen interviews of some pilots and they said you will be studying for 4 hours and then you will be getting your hours done for at least 5 hours, 5 years. And after that, you'll be able to work as an airline pilot. And that's not the end. You only get to see your family for only a week or so in a month when you actually do become an airline pilot. And I was like, it's really not as good as it seems to be, honestly. And my craze went down right after that. And I just didn't want to be a pilot anymore after looking into those cons. And then I started looking for more careers that I may be interested in because I'm a kind of person who likes things planned already. I don't like unexpected things to come up. Like, even if I'm in high school, I want to know what I'm doing after it so I can work towards it. And none of those career paths interested me because I just wanted to be a pilot. And then everything came down after that research assignment. Not being ungrateful though, but I came to realize that I can type pretty fast, actually, around 85 words per minute. So I just kept thinking, how can I utilize my skills into some career path maybe? And then I came across programming, and I knew that something technological would be great for me since I know a lot about computers and stuff. So I definitely would enjoy it. And an idea popped up that why don't just become a programmer and like make websites or be a game developer, develop games. And it actually interested me. I did not think something would interest me after the pilot career because that was too fascinating. Programming didn't seem as much fun at the beginning, but when I looked into it and found out that it's nowhere close to becoming a pilot and like what you have to go through, programming is super easy and more reliable. You don't even have to like go to the place to work. Most of the time you can just work from home. And for me, family time is basically more important. So I really liked it and it was on the spot and I knew I could do that. But it still seemed a bit overwhelming though when I researched about some vacancies of programmers around me because they required 5 years plus professional experience, bachelor degree, and like a lot of stuff I did not even understand. And all that did was made me overwhelmed. But that was not the end. I knew I had to do something. So I just started with basic stuff. I literally searched up basic information about programming and tried to find some questions about what is programming and how are languages working and if there is a post-secondary program for that and how does programming really work in daily life. And I searched up how programming works and basic information about programming so I can build up something at least and have some information about it. But what I came across was amazing and it changed my life since then. That was this video. This guy was super helpful. He showed me the website to actually learn how to program. It had all the basic tutorials from A to Z, and I was like, wow, I can just start programming and learn stuff at this age. So by the time I actually go to the university, I would be really good at it. And I started making projects from that website this guy told me, and that was great. This was my first learning HTML. That's a hypertext markup language. It's the most common one when making websites. Here are some of my projects I made after learning HTML, the hypertext markup language. And of course, the first web page I made was about pilots. Even the website was called I'm Crazy About Planes, and it had some of my information, like how I wanted to be a pilot before, and now I want to be a programmer. And this is some of my videos. And the next one is this. I also made a survey form for Rocket League. It's a game, the only game I play basically, and it's pretty fun. You should try it someday. And I just started loving programming, but when I first started it, this was my reaction. I could not figure out these codes and how things are actually working. But as time passed, I did learn it, and I am still learning it and making new projects so it could be more helpful for me when I go to the university. And at this point, I actually consider programming as my career. And I do realize that pilot was not really the career I should be going for, since I would rather spend time with my family than be away from house for 90% of the time. But programming was definitely something I would enjoy even on long periods of time, because you don't really have to do a lot, and it's interesting too because not many people are doing it, and you can actually do something you want, like make your own application for different purposes and fulfill your own needs maybe if you have some. But for real though, mm, what career development did was the best thing to me, changing my career path. Because if that never happened, I would still be going for a pilot. And another good thing about career development was it helped change my career, and also since it changed it, I could look up on universities' websites to find out the required courses I need for a specific program. For example, for computer science, I need these courses, and now I can actually take them in high school, so I don't have to fool around when the time comes. And I'm so thankful for it, for a career development course. It's just amazing. And that's the end of my story, and some of the most important lessons for learning. One of the most important thing I've learned is to not consider something without actually doing a little research about it, so you know what's the other side of the picture is. And the second thing is career development course. It's honestly amazing, a lifesaver for me, because I don't think if I stood with pilot career I would really be successful as much, and would not be happy as much for sure though, because I really would rather stay with my family than go for work most of the time. But the best part is that I still love planes, to be honest. I can't get over them. They're just so massive, and the fact that a pilot can actually control it is still in my mind and will always be there.